Happy Tuesday. I am apologizing for being late today. I'm unable to get my computer's doing some very strange things. So I've had to reboot it. So you know how that goes. We gotta love the technology, right? So with that being said, I decided to just hop on my phone directly, and so you guys aren't gonna see my smiling face today, but that's okay. I'll wave at you next week. So what are we going to do today? So today I have a fun inside corner pop-up card. So I shared one, I think it was Monday or Sunday maybe, that Jennifer Hamlin on our team had created an Easter day with the Brilliant Wings dies and pulling in some fun glimmer paper. Difficulties. So I decided to stop messing with the problem I was having on the computer and just switched over to the phone. So here we are. So late, but here. All right, so this one, I love all this glimmer paper in the background. I don't know if you can see how super cool that is. And then when you open the card, the corner pops up and, oh, I guess I need to turn it down so you can see. So the corner pops up. So you've got this fun, glimmery, shimmery, set of butterflies on the inside. So this is what I'm going to teach you to do today. So we are featuring the Brilliant Wings dies. So these are part of the early release butterfly bouquet promotion that's going on now. And you can get the early release through May 3rd. And then May 4th, the Stamp and Die bundle will actually carry over into the new catalog. Now, this promotion also has some limited release designer paper. One of the designer papers, the Butterfly Bijou paper, has already sold out, so there's no more of that. But there is plenty of that natural, I think it's called Natural Touch. It's a wood tone paper. So we are featuring the Makers Mojo team. So Melanie, Melissa, and I are featuring a 12 project stamp camp with this this wonderful suite, or collection. I'm going to show you really quickly my 4 cards. I'm just going to flash them across the screen so that you can get a peek of them. So registration ends this Friday, but I only have 3 kits left. So we had to scrounge for that paper since it was sold out before we expected it to be. So if you want a kit, go ahead and register. I'll put it in the description of the video links afterwards. I couldn't do it before since I was having all my technical difficulties, but I will go back after this video. I'll make sure that you have the link in case you're interested for registering for the Butterfly Bouquet Stamp Cap. I'll also make sure that you have the complete supply list and cut dimensions for today's corner pop-up card. So let me give you a quick peek of the Stamp Camp project. So there's one. Here's another fun pop-up. Got another pretty one here. And one more. All right, so that was a quick peek of my 4 projects. So we have a couple 3D items. We've got fun folds. We've got techniques. So there's lots of cool stuff with the Stamp Camp. So I think you would love it if you joined us, or we'd love it if you'd join us. I don't think you'd be sad if you joined us. So, all right, let's see if I can see comments. It's always harder on the phone, so I'm trying. So welcome. I see Nancy and Jay and Jennifer and Gwen. Yay. All right, so let's jump in and start on this project that we're making today. So again, the inside corner pop-up. All right, so first I want to show you this glimmer paper. I actually had not purchased the glimmer paper until recently. I did the snail mail stamp camp with Glenda Mullet in Canada. So here, I've cut this piece off, but I want you to see what the full sheet looks like. So Glenda and I did the snail mail stamp camp, which was so much fun and cute. If you haven't done that one, I do have the tutorial still available, but it used some of this rainbow glimmer paper. So I purchased a pack to do my kits, but when I was done, I had all this sheet left, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is actually so pretty. It's got to be used. So I thought, what better way to use it than with butterflies, right? Yay! So I did the first card cutting strips of the Glimmer paper from one end of the paper. And so for today's project, I have just continued from the opposite end. So I've got my greens that move into the blues with a little touch of what's left of the purple. So we're going to change the color up, and I'm going to show you another one. Oh, good. Yes, Jean, I'm sorry. Yeah, I typically stream it live in both my page and my group, but I was having technical difficulties where I could not get the Zoom to connect. So I had to go old-fashioned Facebook Live on my phone to get it to connect. So I'm only in my Facebook page right now. I will share it over to the group, but yeah, I know technology. What do you got to do with it? We do the best we can on a day-to-day basis, right? All right, so I'm going to slide this over, and we'll go over those dimensions in just a bit. I want to go ahead and do that sentiment layer. So I've got a piece of basic black cardstock. Let me get my sheet out, make sure I've got my measurements right. So it's 3 3/4, and it's a 1/2 inch wide. And we are going to stamp the sentiment. I've pulled in the Timeless Tulips stamp set, and I'm stealing that little hello from that, and then we're going to use one of the other sentiments on the inside. So let me grab, wherever I put it, there it is, my Versamark pad and the hello stamp. So we will just ink that up, and if I can see it all, stamp that right down on there. I might have got a little too much, but we'll see what happens. Get my white powder. And I dump mine into a plastic container. I don't know if you guys leave them in the little jars they come in, but I'm very messy with small things like that. So I like a much larger container. So I just dump mine in that. So let's pull in a heat tool. My cord reaches, and we will go ahead and melt this powder. So I think you guys have done embossing quite a bit, but we'll do it anyway. So I'm just going to turn this on and hold my heat tool about 1 inch to 1.5 inches away from it, and slowly move it as it starts to melt. So hopefully you can see the magic in the camera. I'll see if I can get over a little bit. It's slowly starting. There we go. Nice. I love it. So you just heat it until the powder melts and becomes shiny. You don't want to overdo it. If it starts to turn dull again, it's probably a little bit too much. And if it turns brown, you've gone way overboard, right? All right, so let's talk about what these measurements are. So again, I just literally cut the strips right out of that pack of Glimmer paper, so it just has that ombre into the next color. Now you could mix and match versus staying with that ombre, but I really like the way that looked, so I did it. So each of them are 3 3/4 wide. So this top one is 1 inch, this one's 1.5, and then these two are both 3/4 of an inch tall. Okay. So let's bring in our card base. So I've got a 4 1/4 by 11 inch piece of basic black cardstock that I am going to fold in half and crease this really good with my bone folder. All right, and let's go ahead and decorate the front. So it's actually pretty fast and easy, I think. Granted, I've already die cut. Looks like I've got a scrap of... So I've got some black dimensionals here. You could use white ones, but since my card base is black and my layer is black, I'm going to go with black. And it looks like I'm almost out on this sheet, so I've just snipped the edges because you can use every bit of these sheets. Every bit of these sheets. So, oh, thank you for sharing. I appreciate that. Yeah, if you guys are enjoying the projects, I'd love for you to share the videos with your crafty friends. That helps me and my business, which is much appreciated. All right, so I am going to just kind of eyeball this, and I'm looking at the top to try to get it somewhat of an equal distance on the 3 sides here, right? And then I'm going to go from the bottom and do the same thing. And I'm just going to put some dimensionals across there. We can be excessive, it's okay. The more you like them, that's fine. Hopefully I'm in the camera here, I'll check that. And then I'm going to do the same thing at the bottom. I'm going to look at my 3 sides and try to somewhat get that centered on those 3 sides. Now then I'm just going to lay these in to kind of dry fit them to see how much spacing I have in between. Now I can look at my original card because I cut it the same, so it should be very similar. And I find that this piece is very forgiving. So if I end up with extra space, I kind of want it where that space is versus these spaces here, if that makes any sense. All right, so I'm going to do this one next. We'll go ahead and put these down. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I am not great about catching everything in the newsfeed. Sometimes it goes really slow and sometimes it goes really fast. I have not figured out that exact thing yet, but I will always go back and make sure I didn't miss anything. So if you've got questions, please let me know. Alrighty, we'll put some more dimensionals on this. Now, do you have to pop these layers up? No, you don't, but I love it. I'm a big fan of all the height and dimension, as you probably all know. All right, I've totally cleaned out that sheet. So let's see if I've got another one in here. I do. Yay. This one has a little bit more left on it, so we'll be able to use the bigger pieces. And I will just go ahead and get the backing off and put this one down. And I love that white embossing against that black. It's just a nice stark contrast. Fun, right? Great color, lots of shimmer. It's awesome. Hey, Vicky, you're at the airport, my friend, aren't you? Sadly leaving baby Bonnie. Yes. Hey, Pam, so glad you're here. All right, so the next thing I want to do, and I've already die cut these so you guys didn't have to watch me do this, but so I've got my Brilliant Wings dies, right? And I die cut some butterflies. So the detailed butterfly, I did that one. Same one twice, because I'm going to double that one up. And then I did this one. And then I did this one. Great. Now, I forgot to grab the other half of this die set. So the other half of this die set is the outline images of all these fabulous butterflies. So the stamp is actually one big stamp with the beautiful detailed butterflies on it. It's just gorgeous. All right. Vicky, you're a mess. I'm so sorry. It's my turn, though. I get to go visit baby Bonnie, right? We could be there together, though. I don't think that might drive our kids crazy, but we would have fun. All right. So I'm just going to adhere these 2 butterflies, the bodies together. Do you need to? Probably not. Do I love to? Why, yes, I do. I think it's fun. So I'm going to just add some liquid glue on the back. A little bead there. And I'm using liquid glue because of the texture of this glimmer paper is pretty gritty. And so I really want something that's going to stick. I don't want it to ooze out too bad, but I do want it to stick really well. So I'm going to do this on the other butterflies as well. I didn't double the other ones. You could double all of them. But... Hey, Lise, so glad you're here. I'm sure I've missed people. It's hard to see all the popping of the names coming in, but I'm glad that each and every one of you is here. I much appreciate it. All right, so that one's down, and then we'll put this little baby one at the bottom. All cute. So yeah, Vicky, I'll go for a little bit, and then you go back, right? Are you going back again after we leave? I bet you are. All right. So yeah, so if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, we just got a new grandbaby. What, was it last week? 2 weeks ago. I can't even remember. March 9th, whenever that was. And she is super sweet looking. I haven't met her yet, really. But she is super cute. And Vicky's been stealing all the snuggles with her since she's been born. But that's all good. We have to have that time, right, as the grandmas. All right, I'm going to bring in some Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and I'm going to color them. So one of the things I love is that we can customize our gems to be whatever color we want by pulling in our Stampin' Blends. So I have a dark, rich razzleberry, a dark Bermuda Bay, and a dark Granny Apple Green. trying to get colors that kind of go with this portion. Now on this one, I used the Magenta Madness and Pumpkin Pie and the Blackberry or Rich Raspberry. So I'm just changing the colors up a little bit. So the supply list will show all of these so that you will be able to reproduce as you would like to. So I've already colored one of each color. So you can see I've got this Rich Raspberry, and I'm going to just color a second one. Now I use the brush tip for this. It will kind of mess up the tip of your blends. I just want you to be aware of that. It is a fabulous technique, but it can wreak a little bit of havoc on your tools because it kind of splits the end of the tip there, because believe it or not, these rhinestones are actually pretty darn sharp. So I did a couple of the Bermuda Bay in the small ones, and then I'm going to do a larger one. Okay. And then I'm going to do 3 small ones in the Granny. Or maybe a small, I've got 1 small, 2 small, maybe if I've got a medium still on this sheet. Yeah, maybe I'll do this size. And you know what? I think I'm going to change my mind on the Bermuda Bay. And I'm going to do a second one of this size. I'm not going to use those little ones. And then I'm going to go big. Right? Good deal. All right, so now that I've got those, and this dries pretty darn quickly, but I'm going to match kind of the gems to where I'm going here. So I'm going to put this medium size one right there. And then I'm going to pop in those 2 small ones right below it. Just add that little bit of bling to my center of my butterflies. I don't think we can have too much bling when you have a glitter card like this, right? Hee hee hee. All right. Then we've got a Bermuda Bay. And then let's put the smaller ones on either side. Nice. Oh, good. I'm glad you guys like it. Hey, Melissa. Hey, Nancy. All right, and then let me put a couple of the small Rich Raspberries down here. So just trying to pick up the color as it moves down. Now I could have done it opposite. That would have been fun as well, or mixed and matched. So you can do whatever makes you happy. But I thought that was a cool thing. All right, so the outside is done. Let's work on the inside. So let's slide this over. So I have got a piece of basic white cardstock that is, let's see, it is 3 3/4 by 10 1/2. So I want to fold it in half first. So let's do that. And give that a good crease. Really, really good crease. I want that to fold nice and flat. Now, I'm going to bring in my trimmer. You could use a Simply Scored if you prefer, right? And what I want to do is slide this in, and hopefully you guys can see it. I want to score this corner. So I'm going to bring this in, and you can measure it if you want to. It's entirely up to you. I don't feel like it has to be all that exact, but again, it's really what makes you happy and what you're comfortable with. So I'm just sliding it in. I'm eyeballing it. Yes, I could measure down on each side and make sure it's perfectly square. I'm not even going to worry about that. I'm just going to do it, right? So I've given that a couple passes, and then I'm going to fold this so I go through both layers. Let's move this trimmer out of the way. And then what I want to do is I want to fold that so that this pokes in. Is that a technical term? Pokes in. And we'll give that a nice crease on that edge. Nice? So that's my pop-up. Very cool. Well, I think it's very cool. All right, let's stamp our sentiment before we go too crazy. So I'm bringing in my Memento Black ink again. And inking that up. And it says, what a beautiful, what a beautiful difference a single life makes. Isn't that wonderful? And I think it goes really nice with the butterflies. Love, 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 love. All right. Good, good, good. Moving that out of the way. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and adhere this into my card inside. And I am going to adhere it on these sides but not that corner. I'm gonna leave that corner blank. I hope that makes some sense. So I'm gonna do the bottom part first. So let's try that and I'll show you what I mean. I'm just randomly putting adhesive, and I wanted to get along this edge. It didn't have to be close to the edge, but you want some adhesive there, right? And I'm gonna place this, double check, make sure I don't have it upside down. I'm gonna place this inside my card base, and I'm gonna look to see that I'm somewhat equal distance on my 3 sides here, and that I'm just below that fold line because I want this to be able to close, right? All right, so that's in place. So to get the top perfectly in place, we're gonna put our adhesive on here just like we did on the last side of it. Okay, and then now all I have to do is close my card, open it back up, and it's perfectly placed. Yay? All right, yay! So there's our pop-up, super easy. Now we need a couple of fabulous rainbow butterflies. So out of the same rainbow paper, I cut this large butterfly and another one of these small butterflies. Fun, love the colors, love all the glimmer. Woo-hoo. Now, when you're placing this one here, you just need to watch that when you lay this down, that it doesn't stick out beyond your card edge, or it's not going to fit inside your envelope. Okay, now if I put it pretty close down, I don't want it to go past this fold either. So I've got some leeway here, but I just want to double check and make sure that when that opens, that it is not going to show. So I'm going to just kind of look at where I want to put some adhesive. So I'm going to put some adhesive on the back in this portion, and the very bottom of that, and I should be pretty good to go. You could have gotten a pencil and marked it with a pencil to make sure you were perfectly even, but I am not that kind of gal. We're just going to wing it and go with it. Ha ha ha, wing it, right? I'm just kidding. All right, so I'm just going to hold that there for just a moment. Before it sets, I'm just going to close it, make sure it's not sticking out. It's not, so I'm happy with that. So great, so that butterfly just needs to dry right there. Awesome. And then we're going to adhere this one up here. So let's just use a little bit of liquid adhesive. Now, you could have cut these out with adhesive sheets on the back, but I don't think it's necessary. You know, maybe this little one, if you wanted it down nice and secure all the way, you could, but I just don't think it's needed. And then definitely this one, you don't want the back of that to all be sticky. So that's why I chose not to do it there as well. So fun, right? Beautiful. And so you've got your 2 versions, both fabulous, I think. And then they both have the inside coordinating sparkle. So fast and easy card, really. You could do this with any designer paper. It would be fun to do designer paper and then do all the butterflies in the glimmer. That would be fun as well. If you're not a big fan of all the glimmer, which I don't know how that happens, but surely there's someone out there that doesn't like glimmer, right? I think there's some people that don't like glitter, but maybe glimmer is okay. I don't know. Oh, Kathy, glad you like it. Yeah, and the pop-up, it's a fast, easy pop-up. It's just a really simple pop-up to do. So I like it. It adds a wow factor to it without it being difficult. So this is just one that you could make so many of. You could change butterflies to something else, flowers, little critters, whatever, and really make this card for just about any occasion. So I went for the bold, fun, glimmery look. So I hope that you all love this one and will give it a try. Yes. So if you are a fan of the butterflies, we'd love for you to join us for our butterfly bouquet stamp camp. So again, I only have 3 kits left. And registration ends Friday or whichever happens first. Once my kits are sold, they're gone. So if you are interested, I highly recommend signing up as soon as possible. Again, I'll put those links in once I get my technical difficulties worked out. So thanks. All right. Thank you all for joining me. And if you happen to be watching on the replay on YouTube, I'd love for you to subscribe to my channel as well. So thanks. Have a great week, and I will see you. Oh, Nancy, you got a question? Love it. What was the paper? This is the Rainbow Glimmer Paper. Is that the one that you're asking? And then this is just white and then black. So yeah, the rainbow glimmer paper. Let me pull that back in so you guys can see it again. I've got one piece that's almost whole. So there's a little strip off of it. So it rainbows out like this. And it just merges in. It's so pretty in person. I can't even explain it. When I saw it in the catalog, I was like, whatever. But to see it in person, it really is simply stunning. And to combine it with black, I think just makes the big statement with it, you know. So, all right, Kathy, thank you, Nancy. Oh, perfect, Nancy, I answered your question. Thank you all, and I will see you then next Tuesday. All right, bye for now.